All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to The Explainer. If you're a junior business analyst or just stepping into the AI space, grab your notepads. Today, I'm going to walk you through a senior-level masterclass on the Oracle Analytics Cloud AI agent. We're going to completely tear apart the setup process because, well, configuring it is dangerously easy. But making it genuinely intelligent, that requires some serious roll-up-your-sleeves design work.
Everything we're unpacking today comes directly from the battle-tested playbook of Sriram Gupta, an Oracle solution architect over at Bizinsight Consulting, and his real-world implementations point to one harsh reality. An out-of-the-box AI is basically just an empty container. It only actually gets smart when a skilled BA pours that intelligence into it.
You see, Oracle made the initial setup incredibly frictionless. You can literally just click Create, point it at a dataset, and boom, you've launched an AI agent in under 20 minutes. But it's kind of like a microwave dinner, right? It's fast, but ultimately pretty disappointing. A 20-minute agent is going to hallucinate. It's going to misunderstand your specific business jargon, and honestly, it might hand you numbers that could get you fired. True, reliable intelligence? That takes weeks of deliberate design.
So here's our blueprint for today's explainer to make sure you bypass that trap. We're going to cover the configuration illusion, the critical discovery questions, building self-describing datasets, structuring your RAG documents, writing the supplemental instructions, and finally, running the rephrase test validation.
Okay, Section 1, the configuration trap. Like I said, sometimes simplicity is totally deceptive.
Listen closely to this, because it's absolutely crucial. A confidently wrong AI is 1,000 times more dangerous than an AI that just throws its hands up and says, I don't know. Why? Because your stakeholders are going to blindly trust it. As a BA, your job is to act as the shield here. You have to design the dataset, the knowledge document, and the instructions so tightly that the AI literally has no room to guess. Moving on to Section 2, the discovery questions. This is where we flip the script and ask why before we ever even think about touching the what.
You know what the biggest rookie mistake is? It's looking at your available data first. You have to resist that urge. Instead, sit across from your stakeholder, look them in the eye, and ask what exact business problem is keeping them up at night. If you start with the data, I guarantee you'll build a brilliant, highly functional agent that answers questions literally nobody is asking.
So, before you leave that initial discovery meeting, you need concrete answers to 5 vital questions. 1. What takes hours to manually figure out every single Monday? 2. When did bad data last trigger a costly mistake? 3. What is their absolute dream instant answer? 4. Do different departments actually agree on definitions, like what a late payment is? And 5. Critically, what is the exact dollar cost of a wrong answer? That right there dictates your risk tolerance. You want to walk out of that room with 15 specific, real-world questions the agent absolutely must master.
All right, Section 3, building self-describing datasets. This is exactly how we constrain the AI and stop it from hallucinating.
You have to remember, an OAC AI agent is locked to exactly one dataset. It can't magically join tables mid-conversation. So you take those 15 discovery questions you just gathered and you design forwards. That means you explicitly map out every single required field and join logic so IT can build you one perfectly flattened view.
Now, this right here is my absolute favorite trick. AI models are notoriously terrible at guessing what a Y or a 1 means in your database. Think about it. If it sees a Y next to an invoice, does that mean it's approved? Deleted? Don't make it guess. Instead, change that Y to literally say paid late past due date. Suddenly, your dataset is self-describing, and your agent instantly becomes a genius without you writing a single line of extra code.
Another pro tip, never, ever leave math to a language model. It's just a bad idea. You need to identify every derived metric, things like days payable outstanding, and write out the exact business formula. You write the ironclad definition, IT writes the SQL to make it happen, and the agent, it just effortlessly reads the results. Let's hit Section 4. Structuring documents for RAG. We need to stop uploading giant corporate PDFs.
There's a massive paradigm shift you need to grasp here. You are not uploading a novel for the AI to kick back and read. You're building a strict retrieval-augmented generation index. Think of it like a highly organized filing cabinet. The agent just rips out tiny, perfectly matching chunks of text to ground its answer. Long-flowing corporate narratives? Yeah, they retrieve terribly.
To survive the filing cabinet model, you have to follow strict rules. Use clear numbered headers. Keep it to one rule per short paragraph. Put your thresholds right at the front. And honestly, here's where you really earn your paycheck as a BA. Go hunt down that undocumented tribal knowledge. You know, the stuff only the 20-year veterans know. Dig it up and hard-code it directly into this document.
Next up, Section 5, Supplemental Instructions. This is where we program the agent's 6,000-character brain.
Think of these instructions as the bridge between rigid database columns and the chaotic, messy way humans actually speak. Before you even start typing the instructions, you need to build a vocabulary map, a sort of Rosetta Stone. Map messy business terms like missing approval directly to the exact data value, like not approved by CFO. If you encode these high-risk translations here, nothing gets lost in translation later.
Also, without explicit priorities, an AI has literally zero common sense. If a user generically asks, "Hey, what went wrong today?" the AI might prioritize a $5 stationary over-budget alert over a massive $1 million fraud indicator just because budget comes first alphabetically. You have to explicitly define the business hierarchy of what actually matters.
Finally, Section 6, the rephrase test validation. Because we never just launch and pray. This test right here is your ultimate diagnostic tool. Take one of your 15 discovery questions and ask it in casual, plain English. Did it fail? Okay, don't panic. Now rephrase that exact question using the literal database field names. If it suddenly gets it right, boom, you just found a vocabulary gap. Go fix it in your instructions. But if it still fails, well, that's a structural data issue, and it's time to call IT.
Now, hear me on this. Do not authorize a pilot launch until you hit an 80% pass rate on plain English queries. If you get eager and launch at 60%, users are going to hit a wall of confidently wrong answers. Trust will evaporate instantly, and your shiny new AI tool, it'll be a ghost town within a month. Hit 80%, no exceptions.
By the end of this rigorous design phase, you don't just hand IT a vague feature request. You hand them this massive, heavily engineered package. You've got mapped questions, field specs, derived formulas, structured RAG documents, and exact instructions. You've completely removed the guesswork, effectively reducing IT's job to pure execution of your blueprint.
Which really brings us back to the core truth of this entire explainer. To quote our source again, the technology is not the intelligence. The intelligence is what a skilled BA encodes. The software is just the engine, folks. You are the one out there building the tracks. So as you spin up your next AI project and sit down with your stakeholders, ask yourself, are you going to fall for that 20-minute setup trap? Or are you going to put in the real, rigorous design work required to make your AI truly transformative? Because at the end of the day, the intelligence relies entirely on you. Thanks for joining me, and go crush that design phase.